Are you looking for valuable business advice to reach that 7-figure revenue mark? Do you want actionable tips to properly navigate through every business challenge you encounter along the way? Let Tersh Blissett and Josh Crouch be your guide in getting you to the top here at Service Business Mastery. Tune in as they sit down with world-renowned authors in business, leadership, and personal growth who share valuable insights about management, marketing, pricing, human resources, and so much more. Let their nuggets of wisdom gold guide you in owning a thriving, profitable, and ever-growing business. Here are your hosts, Tersh and Josh.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. I hope you're having a great day. You're listening to the Service Business Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Tersh Blissett. Today, we're going to talk with Brian Greenberg about a really cool topic, and that is we're going to talk about reviews. We've talked about reviews in the past. Primarily, we've talked about Google My Business reviews. We're going to deviate from that topic a little bit, but also how to leverage those reviews. So a lot of people talk about getting reviews, and we've talked a lot about getting reviews, but we haven't really ever talked a lot about what to do with those reviews once you get them and how to leverage them. So I'm super excited to have Brian on the show today. And before we get started, welcome to the show, Brian.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tersh.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about you, your background, and what makes you an expert in leveraging these reviews once we get them.
Sure. I've been making a living from online businesses exclusively since about 2005.
Okay.
So, I bring in traffic usually from search engines.
Gotcha.
Search engines as well as we'll go over, places like Google Business and Yelp and the Better Business Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
I have a janitorial supply website, a touch-free restroom supply website. And our main website right now is True Blue Life Insurance, is a life insurance website where we sell life insurance in all 50 states online. And that's a very difficult industry. Life insurance agents kind of get a bad rap. So our goal is to come off as the good guy in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And, the main way we do that is by leveraging reviews. And what we found is we have just a much higher conversion rate, and we're able to sell policies without ever having to talk to customers. And we've had a lot of success doing it. And I've recently wrote a book called The Salesman Who Doesn't Sell, a marketing guide to selling while you sleep, where I discuss all the different strategies to basically kind of get customers coming to you and setting an appointment without ever you really having to do any sort of sales pitch.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So, to have a life insurance company in all 50 states that's online, that's kind of weird. I mean, that's really weird in a cool way. It's now, do you have any representatives in each state, or is it strictly sold online?
Strictly sold online. We do have agents, but they sell over the phone.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And online. So we have agents, and the agents work remotely, and I have agents in California and Tennessee, and I think I got one in Kentucky. So
funny.
They're licensed in all 50 states.
Mm.
So we bring the leads in, and life insurance, they want us to talk to the customer. So we kind of just call them and verify their information. No real sales going on. It's just kind of calling them and being nice about it.
Yeah.
And finishing the application.
That's really cool. So you said you started in 2005. That's kind of, I'm thinking back to 2005, and you had forums a little bit on internet, but I think that's where I got most of my information from, was like just forums and stuff like that. So to be the one gathering digital information at that point, that's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen the evolution of it, which kind of lets me have kind of an overhead picture of how everything works.
Yeah.
So just being able to bring people in from Google, and then, from the very beginning, I've been having such a high conversion rate, primarily from kind of being transparent, conveying that we're an honest and large company, and we do it with reviews. And it's been a great life, bringing in leads. If that's one of the things you don't have to worry about, it makes things a lot easier.
That's really cool. So I guess let's dive into that and bring in the leads and where we're getting leads from.
You know, Google is making a big play towards local, right?
Yeah.
So when you go into Google and you search something, they know exactly where you are. And they know if you're searching for an HVAC company that you're going to want to find someone local.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend that you have some sort of website, right? It doesn't have to be a big website. It could be something simple. You can invest maybe $1,500 in a website. And on that site, you want to just list all your services. It's very important to have some sort of contact page, maybe even something for people to set up an appointment. You can say maybe a free consultation, how much you charge. You know, what I really love to do on the website, it's such a great opportunity to list all the questions that you constantly have.
Yeah.
So, what is the initial charge? Do you cover insurance or whatever it may be? Just answer all those questions right online, right? So there's very little need for them to contact you and start asking questions and all these things. Let the website do it for you. That's a great thing. And another thing we'll go into is having properties on other social media sites, right? So maybe having a Facebook page, a Google business page, because when people type in those things, they show up in the search engines. And Tershi, you know what's interesting is over the years we found that right before somebody decides to call you or make an appointment or do a purchase from you, they'll do a search. And they'll search the name of your company followed by reviews or complaints, right? So they want to see if other people, are happy with your service or unhappy. And if you have all these 5-star reviews, boom, right? It's this instant credibility. And that closes the deal. So, but be aware that they're going to do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And people are online. So
do you ever find that if you have too many 5-star reviews is bad? Like I've heard that if you have like 1,000 5-star reviews and no 4, no 3, no 2, no 1s, that people come across as fake. Is that true in your opinion, or?
I don't think so, Tersh.
Yeah.
Look, if you own the reviews and you post them on your website.
Yeah.
And look, there's a way to post reviews on your website, which is very important. Don't just have a random review and say a name and no idea what they bought or the service or the date of the review. All reviews need to be in the kind of Amazon format, right? So list the stars, list the comments, the first name, the city that they're in, maybe the service you offered, and the date. That way they know it's legitimate. Otherwise, it's just, it's fairy dust, right? The other thing is, if you get reviews on these third-party sites like Yelp or the Better Business Bureau or Google Business or Angie's List, I think people are very savvy and they know those are legitimate reviews. You can't really fake those. Amazon, fine, you'll see that, but you won't see too many fake reviews on these websites. And no, by no means go for 5-star reviews, and someone gives you a 1-star, try to get them to take it down.
Right.
Although if you do have a bad review, how you respond to it is extremely important.
How would you respond to that? I mean, we've talked about that a little bit in the past, but what's your take on that?
Never be confrontational, right? The only way to win is to say you're sorry and to fix it. So kind of like, just a normal argument with a family member, whatever it may be. First off, sympathize, right? Yeah. I understand. I would be upset too. And then fix it right away. What we're going to do is I'm going to offer you 20% off the service, a refund, whatever it is. Offer them something right away. Don't really do excuses at that point.
Yeah.
And then a little bit down, let them know that this is not how you do business, and that you're going to fix the problem, right? It's been to our attention. You're going to fix it. And that's kind of it. And then, just say sorry you're happy. And I hope that's this. And the last thing you got to ask is, does that make you happy? Are you happy? Right?
Yeah.
Usually, when people write a bad review, really what they want is they want a response, right?
Yep.
You don't want to say tough. You're wrong.
Yeah,
Do not say that. The only way to win is to be the victim almost. It's weird, and to kind of put the karma back on them. And they left you a bad review, but look, we're human, right?
Yep.
And boy, if you see that in a response in a bad review, it's golden, right?
Yeah,
they know that if they have a problem, you're going to fix it if something goes wrong, and that's what people want.
Yeah, totally get that. And I've heard that you should really consider doing it like only replying twice. So and then part of that reply would be to get it offline if it can't. Like on that second reply, like get it offline so that you can have that conversation on the phone. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's the first thing I do. So if I get a bad review, I'm contacting the person outside of that review system, calling them, emailing them, making it right outside that review system. The same thing I just said, right? Make it right. And after you make it right, after you give them a refund and they still give you a 1-star review, it's like doesn't sit well with the human being.
Yeah, totally.
So it's important that you don't ask for them to take it down right away. Maybe you could, but man, always ask, right? As long as you give them something and they're happy, you ask them, are you happy? Can you take down the review, right? Or sometimes I'll send someone a check, right? I wait till they cash it. If you send somebody credit to their credit card, wait till it credits. Did you get it? Did it work? Reviews are very important to our business. We rely on them. Would you consider taking down the review? I don't know. You'll look at my reviews. You won't believe how many I'm able to get down.
Really?
All right. It is incredible. And it's hard because I see some companies, they'll give something to a person, but they'll never ask you to take down the review.
Yeah.
A negative review, even if you respond perfect, could be extremely detrimental to your business. It could cost you thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to have these negative reviews. So first thing you need to do is try to get it off. Sometimes they'll even change it to a 5-star review. They say, look, these guys handled it so well. I'm professional. 5-star review. Then if they're fighting and they still won't give it, then you reply.
Yeah.
And reply, very maturely.
We had that happen one time where it was a communication error on our behalf and we dropped the ball completely. And then we reached out to her and then she ended up changing it over to a 4-star review. Yeah. And so it went pretty well. And then she actually called us back for some more work, but we learned a lesson and implemented something to help prevent that from happening again in the future. And that really, really helped out. She, even though it was like a stab to the heart to me as a business owner, but it was still very valuable because we were able to improve that process. And then now we hopefully won't make that mistake again in the future. Well, everybody will be happier, even the clients, because the other clients that never said anything, that's even worse than this woman here saying something and letting us know that we had dropped the ball here. And so she did us a service by doing that and then allowing us to fix it.
People will very rarely leave a negative review without trying to resolve it directly first, whether it's with the service person when they're there or by email. Very rarely will they do a review. And if they do, they want you to reach back out.
Yeah, totally.
But never react and fight them. Just don't do it. It's a mess.
It's so comical if I read a review that where they've gotten into an argument online. And I'm like, oh, this is drama, days of our lives going on here.
And you think, well, it's not true. I'm going to get them to take it down. I'm going to call Google. I'm going to call Yelp. You can't do it, right? No amount of legal money can get a third-party vendor to take down a review. It just doesn't happen. So don't think that you could sue somebody over this because it's just their opinion, right? If you're writing a bad review about somebody, another thing is, I think I feel.
Mhm.
Don't get into contract stuff, but then you can't dispute that stuff.
Yeah, totally. I agree. So how do we leverage these?
Mm.
Can we go into more detail about leveraging?
Let's talk about the third party stuff like an
Yeah, yeah,
Angie's
yeah.
List. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we'll go into what you can do on your own website.
Okay.
So the first thing to do is, try to gather some reviews. And you don't need that many. You'd be surprised. Just 1, 2, 3, plenty, right?
Wow.
Especially if you spread them over. You're going to want to choose one main one,
Hmm.
and whether that be Google Business or Angie's List or Yelp. Yelp is kind of tough because sometimes they don't even display all the reviews, and that's upsetting. But I'll link to your listeners. I have a web page where you can email somebody a short little link that brings them right to the Google Business page where they just
Cool.
put in the star. When you ask somebody for a review, first of all, only ask the customers that are happy. All right. I think it's a mistake sending it to everybody.
Yeah.
Only the ones that are happy. Get a couple of them. Those places rank so well in the search engines, and that kind of gets you that last step protection when somebody looks you up, followed by complaints or reviews. On those listings, make sure you fill up the entire description area. All right, they give you like 1,000 characters. Put your whole about page on there. Put everything in there. All right, you're going to want to put every service you offer, every city that you're in. Google, they need words. All right, so if someone types in, they need the words. Fill it up. It'll say put your hours. Try to put as much as you can on these listings. Don't just put it up and set it and leave it. I mean, you could set it and leave it. Just make sure that you fill it up first.
Yeah.
Images. Images are so important. I think so many people overlook that on these social media sites. Hire a professional, and a professional photographer costs maybe $150. Okay, you go on to thumbtack.com and you say, I'm looking for a photographer. Maybe take an executive headshot or some headshots of the truck or some of your employees. They come down to you. They take all these professional images and they touch it up too, right?
Yeah.
So you look good no matter what. You put it on there, and my goodness, 5-star reviews coupled with good images, it's golden, right?
Oh yeah.
So many people have a hard time valuing reviews, and I've been doing it a long time. So just from return of ROI and all the studies out there, restaurants, just you see an explosion of business.
Yeah.
A 5-star review on, say, Google Business or Angie's List is worth $250, I say, and $100 every year after that. And that's just from the more people you're going to close, essentially, right? They're going to contact you, right?
Yeah.
If you get something on your own site, it's not as valuable because you can choose not to display it or not. They're more worth like $100. It's important that people know the value, but also know that a negative review can cost you tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Then you'll have to pay a reputation company, and it's, oh my God, it's a mess. So whatever you do, I hope you guys haven't made that mistake yet. If you have, please learn from others' mistakes on that. Don't do it. Yeah, people will find that online.
That's crazy. So how do we? Is there a good thing to put on your website? Like what? Yeah. Let's dive into that really quick.
Absolutely. So let's say you have some 5-star reviews. What you're going to want to do is promote it. It's terrible when you have 5-star reviews and you don't let anyone know about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
I've been guilty of that.
I know, right? So, especially on your contact page, I put it on every page of my site on the footer.
Okay.
On the home page, I kind of highlight it. What you want to do is put a seal, right? Usually these companies will provide it to you. They'll give you a little snippet of code. You give it to your developer. Sometimes you can put it on yourself. If they don't have a seal, take an image of like the Google Business logo. Spend that little bit of time and link it right to your review page. Amazing. The increase of business you'll get is just proven by study after study. make sure you do it. Even if you don't have reviews, just so they can see your business listing and all these descriptions and your hours, and they can call you. Make sure you promote those on every page of your website. And I will say this, I don't know if you guys like the Better Business Bureau.
Uh-huh.
I love it. All right. And they've done studies and they found that the Better Business Bureau is the most persuasive seal that you could have. They've done a lot of studies. I know it costs maybe like $500, $600, but you get to put that beautiful seal on your website. And my goodness, if you can get a review on the Better Business Bureau, and usually they start you off with an A+ rating, it's golden. It's well worth the money.
That's awesome. So you don't feel like the BBB's like dying away or anything like that?
I don't think so. No, okay. and they're making a big play for online companies for them to display those reviews. Now, the other thing is, look, Google Business and especially the Better Business Bureau, both of them, when they do a search on Google, you'll see all the stars right under your listing. It's called a rich snippet. And they have it built in, and it just makes your listing just pop right?
Even more. Yeah. That's really cool. So as we wrap up here, is there anything else that I forgot to ask here?
You know, I know listeners are a lot in the service industry, and what I've done in my business to really make reviews a priority is I bonus our employees when they get a 5-star review. Yeah. So, you know, there's times when if I'm making a push, I'll bonus the employees $25.
Okay.
If they get a review on any one of these sites. A lot of times they can get reviews on 3 different sites.
That's cool.
Right? And if they give one, copy the comment they give, email them and say, can you put it on the other ones?
Yeah.
But the most persuasive is, especially if you've done a good job for somebody, there's what's called the reciprocity effect, right? So if you ask for a review, just very, very low key, right? They'll do it. And so make sure you ask, make sure you bonus your employees. It could be $10, it could be $5, whatever it is, but wet their beak a little bit. Or whether it's you, just know the value of these reviews. $250 a piece.
Absolutely.
And it's golden.
Cool. So what website did you say it was? What would you say the website was to learn more about you?
You know what? I like to give all your listeners a copy of my book on PDF format and also audio. They can go to brianjgreenberg.com/mastery.
And that's Greenberg with an E, not a U. That's
right. Brian with an I and Greenberg with an E at the end. Yes. brianjgreenberg.com/mastery.
Mastery. All right. Cool deal, Brian. I appreciate it so much. And I hope everybody checks out your book and gets a ton of value. I know that they will. And you're just full of knowledge. You have experience since 2005. Like that just kind of blows me away. It's like pre what everybody else jumping on the online bandwagon. And so that's really cool. And I'd love to pick your brain some more about some stuff you've experienced over the years with that. But with that being said, I thank you again for coming on the show, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Hey, thanks for having me. I hope I provide some value to your listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody that's listening, feel free to reach out to us. Absolutely go to the website and learn more about Brian and his business. And as always, my email address is tersh@serviceemperor.com. And until next week, I hope you have a great day. And thank you again for listening to and watching the Service Business Mastery Podcast, the podcast focused on service business owners, managers, and technicians who are considering becoming business owners themselves as well. With that being said, have a great day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.